Just...
Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
Oh, goddamn hacker, that second damn night that asshole's cut in.
All right, boys and girls, it's time to get into it. It's time for the brothers to hack the Matrix.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. It's time for the Brothers Hack the Matrix. I'm your host, Joe's Atmosphere. And as usual, I am joined by There Can Be Only One, the Hylunder. What's up, man? Oh, wait a minute. That's right. That news came a little late, didn't it? Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it when we get there. When we get there. Several championships won. One championship on the line tonight in a Game 7. That I might actually watch because we might actually see a franchise that has never won one win it tonight.
Well, either way, you're going to
Either
have
way,
a
we
first-time
will,
winner.
but
Yeah.
one that we actually, I know there's one fan of a guy from that state that was part of that organization for a long time, that Indiana I'm speaking of. My brother is the biggest fan of the dude from French Slick that ever lived. So
No doubt. And,
yeah.
Indiana has Rick Carlisle is their head coach. He was let go by the Mavericks.
Mm-hmm.
He won a title as a player with the Celtics in '86. He's won a title as a head coach with the Mavericks, and now he's on the cusp of bringing a story franchise. It would be nice to see that. That'd be good ending to that story.
We will talk about that when we get the jockstrap. But right now, boys and girls, what the people want to know, Dan, is what you're sporting tonight.
This is the Epiphone SG, man. This thing's a rock machine. It's got the P90s. It rocks.
You'll get there. You'll get there. Trust me.
But anyway,
there you
it's
go.
a
Get close
good-looking
to the
machine.
camera. There you go.
It's a good-looking machine. I like it. It's light. And it because of it's got the P90s, it rocks. So
is that your
that's what we're using
number
tonight.
one a guy?
This is not my number one a guy. He's right over here, not too far from me at all times. But yeah, this SG is pretty cool.
Of course, we can't see any of that because Mac Bolan has moved on to Alabama. I think it is this time.
No,
he's
in Seattle.
He's in Seattle.
Firebase.
They need him
Seattle.
up there right about now, don't they? Yeah, that's
Firebase Seattle.
Firebase Seattle. Well, let's check out the chat before we get going here tonight. See who's here. First guy in, besides my brother, of course, was Das Wolf, and he says, "Hey all, looks like I beat Tim. Do I get my own video now?" Well, no, but I mean, if I was going to give you a video out of the ones that we have, The best one I can think of for you, buddy boy, I would have to say is going to be where is it? Yeah. I like
Your wide receiver running.
Let me help you back.
Yes, absolutely. That's a good one. But the other one I really dig. Where is it? You know, I could also give you this one, buddy, because it's one of the best videos ever that I've ever created, and it's not here. Oh my God, what happened to it?
Oh, that's great. It's great. Well
Yeah,
done.
that is awesome. And my again
Well
video
done.
is not in there. Okay. I'm going to have to
Professional.
fix my stuff. Apparently, it's not there.
Fix your sensitive
I
shit.
will. Low Spec is in the house as well. And the guy that he's talking about, Mr. Tim, is here as well. So we've got to let you know.
There are some who call me Tim.
Him?
He says, Joe, I sent you a story to look at. It's about the main story. I'm sorry, man. I don't read things during this show. I would do it on another show, but I don't do it here. It's a what could go wrong with this idea. Oh, well, a lot of things could go wrong with that idea. Trust me, man. Juliet is here as well. Good to see you. Good to see you. Always good to see you, young lady. She lives across the pond, Daniel.
Always.
She's over there in Great Britain. Anyway.
Great Britain.
Oh, man.
Britain.
We may have to get rid of another producer because I'm really tired of this guy yelling in my ear.
I think let's throw it out to the crowd and say, who do you guys
Who do you want to be
as
the next producer? Let
next
us know in the
producer?
chat.
Yeah,
Who's
there
the
you
next producer going to be for this show, man? Because
Let's crowdsource.
look, this right here is.
Oh.
He says it's time for the top of the
That
heap.
never gets old, though.
No, it doesn't, Dan. And we may
Top
be
of the
talking about
heap.
it again here in a minute. We may be talking about it again.
Top of
Pretty
the
quick
heat.
here. You know?
Yeah, but we got to talk about Pootie
We got
Tang.
to look, guys. We got to talk about the real deal, Holyfield.
Eject! Eject! Eject!
Fire on the point deck.
This business will get out of control. It'll get out of control and we'll be lucky to live through it.
So much death. What can men do against such reckless hate?
I've watched both of
What
those
can men
movies in the
do?
last week too, bro. I've watched both those movies in the last week.
Have you really?
I was watching Hunt for October. I was watching The Hunt, as I call it, 2 days ago. Yeah.
You know what I watched yesterday? The Covenant.
The Covenant.
Have you seen that? With
I
Jake
haven't-
Jiggle Jaggle Hole? Man,
No, I have
good
not.
one.
Is
You
it?
need to check that out. Yeah.
I will have to check it out. Well,
By the
look-
way, I like your picture for today's episode with Pootie Tang still lurking in the
Dude,
corner
now
over there,
look,
dude.
if you guys don't know the lore here, okay, if you don't know the lore behind the show, there's one guy that's always lurking in the
Always. There he
over there
is.
on the side.
That little bastard.
The ex-KGB guy.
Ah,
He's always there. He's watching. He's
look.
watching.
Got my dillies on a pepper tank.
Exactly. I was about to scroll down and hit one of them videos, man. That's Pootie Tang. Pootie Tang's
Pootie
got his
Tang.
own shit going on, bro.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Just
I wouldn't be
back there doing the
surprised
Pootie
if he played all sides towards the middle in this current thing right now. But first of all, let's talk about the Pootie Tang one because we always start off with this one. Ukraine war briefing. Russia repatriated at least 20 of its own dead soldiers in recent exchanges. Zelensky says sometimes these bodies even have Russian passports, says Zelensky, condemning Moscow's disorganization in swapping of POWs and troops remains. What we know on day 1,215. We're into the fourth year of this thing, dude.
I read a headline the other day. The North Korean troop are getting very, very good with the drones. They're getting very proficient with the operation and drone attacks. So that's not good for.
I would not be surprised if Kim Jong Un or whatever his name isn't just sending them over there to get experience, man. You know, I would not be surprised about that at all.
That's a hell of a thing, right? Let's just send people over to get experience in war. That's awesome.
That's because we know North Koreans have been supplying troops over there. Yeah. All right, guys. Next up, let's see. What is this? Hang on. I got to refresh this thing.
Refresh yourself, fool.
I'm trying to refresh myself, brother. I am. But let's see. First thing we got to show you here tonight is what started all of the events of what's going on. This was last Sunday as fire rained down on Israel. A lot of stuff got shot at Israel, and they fired back. They hit a lot of Iran's oil assets and stuff. I'm going to go through this timeline pretty quick here. Iran renews missile attacks on Israel, just shooting back and forth. This visual came from a commercial jet airliner that was flying and saw all of these missiles leaving Iran headed for Israel. It's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Israel's overnight strike on Iran in maps and images. They sent planes over Iran. They were hitting their missile sites so they could cut down on the amount of missiles that they were going to have to shoot down. It's just been a back and forth thing with them.
What do you think about that? They were probably laying the groundwork for this thing with the U.S. because they're hitting missile sites, air to surface to air missile sites probably. So
right. And then the next thing that came out was that Iran's leaders rejected calls to surrender and warns of intervention would harm the U.S. Now, this is when they started saying the U.S. didn't need to get involved. And why would they say that? Well, Trump has been trying to talk to them behind the scenes this whole time, trying to get them to – he wrote them a letter a month ago and told them, hey, you need to back off. You need to, we know what you're doing. You need to, stop this bullshit and come to the peace table. And also, Russia warns the U.S. over Iran. That we know that if you remember, what was it, Dan? About 2.5 years ago, we were talking about the currency that a few countries were trying to put together, and Iran, Russia, and China, and Russia and China both said the U.S. doesn't need to get involved in this. They've been saying
Venezuela was one of those countries as well.
Yeah, Venezuela was one of them as well.
Central American country.
This came out locally. Trump's doomsday plane makes rare flight from Barksdale Air Force Base, which is about one neighborhood over to my right, to Joint Air Base at Andrews. So we're seeing the chess pieces being moved around the board this week. And then it all culminated in, well, first of all, if I could get this thing to work correctly, it's not working too well, guys. It's not liking all these things. Trump threatens more strikes. Yeah, I'll go ahead and jump to that part. He came on last night. He had given him 2 weeks. That's probably one of the things reason why this thing was messing up. I had an article saying he had given him 2 weeks. And then 2 days later, he comes on last night. Foxy told me about it about 9:30. And sure enough, he was on TV addressing the world. He only came on for about 3 minutes, and you see who's there: the Secretary of State, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and
VP.
The VP. They're all there. Suspiciously, Tulsi Gabbard is not with them, the intelligence director, and she recently said that they weren't trying to develop a nuclear weapon. I'll have to do some more research on that, but
she's not on the right page.
Yeah, she's apparently not on the same page with these guys. But
which seems to be a thing with this administration. But go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about it as soon as I'm done laying this all out. The U.S. hits 3 sites in Iran. That's at Natanz, Fordow, and Isfahan. Isfahan. And they used they used. I have the ordnance and the tally here. 14 GBU 57 bunker buster bombs. They used 14 of them. 75 precision guided weapons. 24 Tomahawks used to hit the nuke sites. Now, this was a joint effort. The Navy and Air Force were all involved. We actually had subs firing Tomahawks as well. And it was a well-coordinated effort. And it, according to his briefing last night, went off without a hitch. They had no problems at all.
And the DC Universe is also involved.
Right? The DC Universe is also involved.
Boys were all about it. They signed off on that action.
But yeah, if you don't know about these bunker busters, man, they're 30,000-pound bombs. And this is the thing, Dan. I didn't want us to get involved in this at all, but apparently we're the only ones that have the air power big enough, the airplane's big enough, and you know this. We've got the B-52 and the B-2.
B-2, yeah.
Do we
Long
still use the
range
B-1? I
capability.
don't think we use the B-1 anymore. Do
B-1
we?
is still in circulation, yeah.
Is it?
It still runs sorties, but
But
you know,
apparently Israel doesn't have anything big enough to carry a 30,000-pound bomb. And so they needed us to do it. And
we also know that the bunker buster is on this summer's menu for Dairy Queen. So if you want to get a bunker buster,
right,
you have to upsize it to get that, but you get the shake and the fries. Bunker buster.
My man Reed by Nature says beef
Yeah.
52s.
Yes.
Good to see you, Reed. But yeah, let me go ahead and wrap this up and then we'll talk about it, man. We'll go ahead and get through the timeline here. U.S. strikes on Iran nuclear facilities see Hamas and the Houthis vow retaliation as world leaders react. Of course, Israel's glad that they did it. And, of course, Egypt is condemning it. The Saudi Arabian part of the peninsula's condemning it, but they have to. I mean, they're right next door to them, so they have to. But they're not kicking us out of their countries, that's for sure. Anyway, Iran says they're eyeing all options. All options in response to U.S. and the latest today, Iran orders closure of Strait of Hormuz, putting 1/5 of the world's oil supplies at risk. Now that is correct. If they shut down that lane right there, we would definitely have a problem. And J.D. Vance made an interesting observation. He said the vice president says that the U.S. is at war with Iran's nuclear program, not Iran. So that's all the headlines that led up to what happened last night. I've been dreading it. So has Daniel. We've been not wanting to see this, but it's one thing I want to tell you guys. This operation has been practiced and looked at for a long time because we've always known that they're trying to get a nuclear weapon over there. They've made no bones about it. And the U.S. military, you can say what you want about this attack and all that stuff. They executed flawlessly last night. They were using, from what I understand, they were using drones going in there as fake targets beforehand, just to feel out the air defenses and all that good stuff. And not one of our guys got harmed, and that's a good thing. But I don't know, man. I just wish they hadn't. I wish we could have given those bombs to Israel and let them do it. Let the people there do it. You know what I mean?
Well, so Iran has been holding the world hostage with this nuclear capability and working up to that, and they're very vocal about what they want to do with the rest of civilization. So
yeah,
we talked about this before. Paying them off, it does not do anything for them. They have a goal.
Yeah,
and so something had to be done. The idea that we're at war with the nuclear capability, not Iran, the people of Iran, they don't make that distinction. And mark my words, there will be retaliation. This is the thing about a state like that. They fund terrorist groups all over the world.
Yeah.
So we will see,
Guarantee
reprisal.
you, every friggin' base in the region's on high alert right now.
It doesn't.
And
No,
I would
it won't be
imagine all of them are.
It won't be bases. It'll be malls. It'll be churches. It'll be airports.
Yeah.
It'll be mass casualties on big scales because that's how they operate. You don't see them. They could be pillars of the community. Look at how they used to talk about the guys that hit the towers. They lived in these communities.
Yeah.
So there will be reprisals. And the men and women of the military, they're on high alert. They're the ones going to pay the toll. They are the ones that are going to pay the toll. They always do. So, when everybody's, yeah, it's great for America. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not cheerleading. That's for damn
Never
sure.
a good thing. It's too bad that we have to come to that because it just seemed like people in power can agree on anything. And Trump it wasn't in the background. You heard that he was talking to them for a while now, trying to get some deal.
He was out
So
front.
It's not like he just went in there and just said, "Okay, I'm going to nuke you." He tried to talk to these people. They're not interested. And all you bleeding hearts out there that want to try to understand this, they will cut your head off just as soon as look at you. That's who you're dealing with.
Yeah, they believe we're the great evil in the world, and it's sad but I'm glad that it was a surgical strike on the nuclear capabilities alone. Yeah, I'm sure there was loss of life, the people that man those facilities, but it wasn't civilians getting hurt. It wasn't what we've seen in Gaza with this mass shelling and all that good stuff. It was surgical strikes meant to do
again,
one thing.
Israel is fighting an enemy that's just they hide in plain sight. I mean, and Israel, I've said this before. They're at their end game now. They're just not even concerned with surgical anymore. They're just sheet of glass. Let's just do this, and then they attack Iran because that's the money. And this is their end game. This is Netanyahu is done talking.
Yeah, he is. And no attack on anybody is any good. It's the last resort. You don't ever want to go to it. But if you're going to go to it, I'm much more in favor of something like this, a surgical attack that doesn't harm civilians, that gets rid of what you're concerned with. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah. So all I can say is this. First of all, pray for the Iranian people because they're going to bear the brunt of some of this too, because we know how that regime works. And pray for our leaders and hope they can get together and get this shit fucking wound down.
Because there's it's just not Iran that's has to save face now because they've got backers.
Yeah.
They've got bigger players in the background that said they would support and blah, blah, blah. You're talking about Russia. You're talking about China. So I pray that this thing just doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah.
That's
we're always talking. You and I are both talking about de-escalation, talking about de-escalation. I mean, I know it sounds stupid to talk about de-escalation after we just dropped 14 of our biggest bombs on a country. But the president himself said, I want a peaceful solution. That, you forced my hand. I had to do this, is what he's saying. And we'll see if first of all, if that's a fact, that I really want to do some research on the Tulsi Gabbard angle there. I mean, she's involved with national intelligence, and she came out here recently saying that they weren't trying to build a bomb, and that just doesn't sound right to me. I don't know if you remember, Dan, but when I was in high school, in 1980, you may have been up there with Dad, but we had a mock election whenever Reagan was running against Carter the first time. And we had the hostage thing going on. We even had a guy dressed up as an Iranian national come into our assembly hall. And, it was an actor. It was one of the high school kids, but it was a big thing, man. That whole year they had a bunch of our people hostage from the American embassy. And these guys aren't playing, man. These are the same guys. This is the same bunch that went into the 72 Olympics and killed a bunch of Jewish athletes. I mean, right there with the whole world watching. And they didn't care that they weren't going to walk out. They knew they weren't going to walk out.
That's their resolve. That's their calling.
Yeah.
So
believe what they say they're going to do. Believe what they're saying.
Yeah, and the idea that you can appease or find any kind of bridge, it's not going to happen. Just ain't.
There's only one thing they understand, and that's strength. Yeah. And that's one thing you do get when you've got a conservative in the White House. You do get the strength and you do get the stick. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens, but say a prayer for all these folks, man. It's because this could escalate into something very bad. Let's hope it doesn't. Okay, What else do we have in the top of the heap? Well, we got the man suspected of shooting 2 Minnesota lawmakers is in custody after surrendering to the police. Now, this guy, I'm not going to say what his name is. You guys have seen this story, but he's, I'm sorry, there's no other way to say it, one of the biggest pieces of shit on the planet. To think that you have to kill politicians, no. That's not the way it works. Not a free society. It doesn't work that way. And this guy had a list. He wanted to go out and get more. And it's, I'm glad they caught him. They need to put his ass under the jail. I don't believe in the death penalty these days. I used to, but I don't now. And that they need to put that guy under the jail.
Well, I don't believe in what he did either, but I tell you right now, politicians are a big problem.
Yeah, they are.
The career politician is a huge problem. And to act like that's not a problem, you got your head in the sand.
Right.
Somehow they have carved out a fucking career as being a career politician, which was not the intent to begin with. And there is no bridge between the working people and people in power. Mm-hmm. There isn't. So they just do things, and
they live in a different planet than we do, and that's what makes it tough, man. You've got to really
they're supposed to be representing us,
right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, we try and vet them whenever they're being elected. We try to vet them, but you don't always get the full story out of them, do you?
Well, the people that are vetting them are career politicians.
Yeah, right.
They do that for show.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
Okay, last one in top of the heap this week. Karen Reed's second murder trial ends in acquittal. Now,
they're obviously huge Kiss fans, by the way.
They're rocking and rolling, man. Big time.
They're going to be in trouble legally because Gene Simmons, I guarantee, has trademarked that. So,
well, I can tell you this. She's still in trouble legally because she's having a civil lawsuit brought against her by the family of the police officer. So
the bar's a lot lower on the civil.
Yeah, for sure. So she's not out of the woods completely, but it was an interesting trial. If you guys followed it, a lot of YouTubers were covering it. The prosecution once again had plenty of evidence that she was acquitted on the murder part, but she was found guilty of driving while intoxicated. So she does get the probation that goes with that and everything. So she got that. But as far as the murder trial, no, they acquitted her. And it was interesting because they were talking about her drunken state and all that stuff, while the defense put forward a story that this guy was killed somewhere else and then thrown behind her vehicle. So it looked like she ran him over. And they had a lot of evidence by a lot of experts that said a lot of his wounds looked like he was beaten and mauled and not driven over with a car. So
I have to confess, I know nothing about this story, but sounds really a lot of craziness to that.
In Boston,
she's drunk. Autopsy shows a bunch of wounds consistent with beating and not being run over. So
it's very interesting what happened there. But I'm sure we'll see a Lifetime movie about it soon. I'm sure.
No doubt.
She's going to have to raise funds for the civil suit, so I'm sure there's going to be a book pretty quick. So, okay, boss man, do you have to? I mean, guys, please tell me who's going to be the next producer, because I'm getting tired of this.
Yo. Yeah, he's not funny anymore.
He's not funny anymore. Damn it. I got to do something about that. It's time for the jockstrap, boys and girls.
Jockstrap. Here
And
we
this
go.
is we are about to hit the jockstrap drought, boys and girls, because there's several sports wrapping up right now. You saw the video I showed earlier about Lord Stanley's Cup. Well, we had another one in the jockstrap that I was hoping to get in there before airtime, but it didn't quite work out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you the final moments here at the College World Series. Let me get this up here for you guys. And my brother's already getting geared up. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. All right.
You know
let me get the sound going and make sure. Now, Danny, tell me right away if you hear the sound. Okay. You ready? Here, guys. LSU champions once again.
Once again.
And my brother, as usual.
Boys. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. And my brother, as usual, was humble in victory. He said, don't discount the Coastal Carolina team. They
had a great season. Had a great season. But you know what?
To be the man! You gotta beat the man! You gotta beat the man!
And they could not beat the man. Go ahead, LSU Tigers. There you go.
LSU Tigers. Now that makes two LSU teams champions in 1 year.
That's it.
The LSU Shreveport Pilots went undefeated 59-0. And now the LSU Tigers have won their 8th national title. I believe they're second only to USC, and I think USC has 12. So that's very, very interesting. Let's see. It's Real Wade Nation. He says we always have the WNBA. Shush up.
Oh yeah,
I'm not watching.
WNBA.
Although it's getting interesting watching Caitlin Clark's games. Dude, they're trying to beat her up every game, dude.
It's just assault and battery every game, man.
I'm telling you, man.
I mean, they're not even hiding it. They're just straight up just.
But let's hear it for LSU Tigers. Let's see. Let's fucking go. Arkansas choked LSU. Got lucky. No, they didn't.
There you go. Won. There you go.
And
I'd rather be lucky than good.
And
go Tigers.
He hit the 3 magic words.
Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about those world champion Florida Panthers.
Ooh,
Daniel,
that's a juggernaut right
your
there,
thoughts on what could be a dynasty in the NHL? Do you consider it a dynasty already with back-to-back championships?
Yeah, you got to say so because they've had deep playoff runs already before they won their first cup. And let me tell you what, I challenge anybody to name a star on that team. They roll 4 lines, and the last line to hit the ice when they won that cup, the coach put out the 4th line. He said, "You guys have carried us since Toronto." That team is just a hard nose. They've taken on the personality of their head coach. They're hard nosed. They've got great goaltending. And look, they grind you into powder. This series wasn't even as close as last year.
Right.
They beat up on Edmonton. They just beat them up. They should have won it in 5 games. But, kudos to Florida. I mean.
Sam Reinhart scored 4 goals in that game.
4 goals.
That's crazy.
Edmonton,
but of course,
was done.
You got to tell them about the little ball of hate, though.
Little Ball of Hate Brad Marchand had a great playoff series. Had a great Stanley Cup series. Boston did him right. They couldn't come to a deal, and they traded him to Florida, which gave him the best chance to win another cup. He's been solid for Boston the whole time.
Now, isn't the Florida coach an ex-Bruins coach?
I don't know about that. But this guy right here, Paul Maurice, I think his name is. He is a player coach. He's in your face. He doesn't mince words, and everybody's got to be on board, or they're not going to see ice time. And he rolls all four lines. And if you're not physical, this series again was not as close as last year.
Right.
Edmonton was just out. I mean, they were just beat. So
yeah,
Florida is going to be tough to beat.
When I turned it on, they scored their 5th goal with no goalie out there. It was a garbage goal. I was
Yeah.
like, holy shit, they're smoking these fools. What the hell?
The only team that I know in the West that can play with them is the Golden Knights. They beat Florida was it 3 years ago now,
Mhm.
in the finals because they play that same style of physical
Wait, so the
hockey.
Panthers have been to 3 Stanley Cup finals
3
in
in
a
a row.
row?
Yes,
Shit.
yes. They lost to the Golden Knights, and then they won the last 2. And then before that, it was the Tampa Bay Lightning. They
Mhm.
went 3 years in a row, won 2 in a row.
What's up with
Florida, I don't
man?
know what they're doing down in Florida, man, but their teams are dominant. They really are.
They're entertaining all those old geezers from the north that have moved down
I don't
there
know.
to want to see a hockey game.
But yeah, I mean, unless
Yeah, I guess you'd have to consider them a dynasty at this point, wouldn't you? Damn.
well, they're really good, man. They are really good. I don't a dynasty to me is like an Edmonton, Gretzky,
Mhm.
Lemieux with those great teams. Detroit had some great runs in the 80s and 90s. These teams won like 5, 6 titles, so
Right.
but 2 in a row is hard to do.
Yeah.
It really is.
That's
So
tough to do.
kudos to Florida, man. They got it done. They
All
got it
right.
done.
Next up, we got the blotter. What's up? My boy, Richard
Oh, it's the
Sherman.
NFL. All right.
Richard Sherman charged with DWI, ex-Seahawks stars.
Again.
You found it. Where was it? Where was
It's right below.
I got it. I got you. Yeah, it's out of place. It got moved. All right, cool. Yeah, John, this is your video, buddy.
Again.
My favorite beer commercial of all time. But anyway, Madden cover guy from the 2015 game, my personal favorite one because the Legion of Boom is on every friggin' menu in the game. Anyway, Super Bowl champion hit with second such charge since 2021. Look, I love this guy to death for what he did for my football team, but my gosh, get some help, bro. I'm tired of seeing you on the blotter. I'm tired of seeing video of you trying to beat in your friggin' ex's front door and just, man, come on, bro.
That's a Stanford guy.
Yeah, Brainiac.
Stanford guys are frustrated.
Right?
They're frustrated.
Brainiac. Yeah, frustrated.
Yeah, he's
Shouldn't be
Brainiac, all
frustrated.
right.
He got me a Super Bowl ring. He shouldn't be frustrated. He got everything he needs. Yeah. He keeps this up, though. He won't make the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he'll be in there.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll
He'll be in
see
there.
what happens. But anyway, next up on the blotter report, Shedeur Sanders cited for speeding. Browns rookie quarterback clocked driving more than 100 miles per hour. You would think that Dion would guide his son to do something a little bit smarter than that. You would think.
Dion's a flashy guy, man. He likes the press, and some people say any press is good press, so who knows, man. I don't know what Cleveland's doing. They got like 80 freaking quarterbacks over there.
Yeah, they do. And guess what? Joe Flacco is going to be starting day one. You watch. Joe Flacco is coming out. The Flacco sons shall continue.
My dude.
It's just crazy to me. If you're trying to, as far as this guy fell in the draft, you would think he'd stay out of trouble. It's just
he is who he is, man. That's why he fell so far in the draft.
And yes,
Cleveland is known for picking up problem children. There you go.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Last in the jockstrap this week, of course, is the NBA because it's our least favorite sport. But I might actually watch tonight. I might turn it on in the second half and see how they're doing because one of these teams is going to win their first NBA championship in a Game 7. We've got the Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Indiana Pacers. Now, myself, and I'm sure Daniel is too, I'm rooting for the Pacers because they're the older franchise, and they've been around for a long time. I was a Reggie Miller fan when he played. I thought he was a great basketball player. And Danny's favorite basketball player of all time, Larry Bird, tried to get Reggie a championship, but he couldn't get him there. And He got into the finals, but
a lot of those great teams ran into the Jordan era. So, I mean, it's not much you can do.
Not much you could do about that one, yeah. But you got the Pacers going to play OKC, and it starts here in about 15 minutes. Well, I say that. The national anthem and all that shit's going to start.
The 3-ball chucking up will start in about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes. So look forward to that. And once that's done, Dan, the jockstrap is going to be pretty dry. It's probably going to be blotter report all the way till August, man.
The jockstrap is going to be pretty dry. Okay.
It is, dude. It's going to be pretty dry. You're going to have to powder up for it, bro.
We're going to have to get down on the MLB and see what's going on, man.
Yes. So. Is that what we're going to have to do, man?
That's what we're going to have to do.
Major League Baseball. Why?
That's it, man.
It's too many games, Dan. It's too many games. It's too many games.
It's a journey, bro.
I understand it's
Baseball's a journey, man.
162 games? Are you crazy?
Yes.
Come on, bro. It's an endurance test is what it is.
My Red Sox finally got rid of Devers, who was great for us at the time, but he's become an anchor. So we got rid of him, went to the Giants, and the team has been playing well the last 10 games. So we'll see.
They were playing the Giants today. I saw the score on the bottom. We were beating them 1-0, I think.
No doubt.
At the time. But anyway, okay. Our boss, come on.
Yo.
He says time for the flicks, bro.
Time for the flicks.
It's time to check out what's going on in Hollyweird. What's going on in Hollyweird? You know?
Some weirdness for sure.
Dude, I love me some Hollywood though, man. I love me some movies and stuff. I love them. I do love them so. I really do. Let's see. Keely Chow is with us. He says hello, everybody. And he's been very active in the chat. Let's see what else he's got to say here. He says Cleveland is a hellhole because the Browns have no O-line. My man knows football, doesn't he? Good Lord.
All about the line of scrimmage.
Let's see. I'm not a Sonics fan, but fuck the Thunder. I hear you, brother. I hear you. Yeah. Thank you, Daniel. He says, okay, there you go. If the Pacers win tonight, I will be loud and proud like a Seahawks fan. There you go, man. That's what I'm talking about. Fuck the Mets, Phillies, and Marlins. Go Braves.
Go Braves.
Okay. I can respect the Braves. That is a team I can respect. Danny, I don't know if you agree with me on this, but out of any of the championship teams I've ever watched, they may have had the best pitching staff, the deepest.
Oh yeah, that
of all time.
Slavin, Maddox. Yeah, they had a staff for you, and they only won one World Series.
Yeah, that's how hard it is in Major League Baseball to win a championship. They dominated. That team dominated, but they could only win one World Series.
Only won one.
Crazy, man. Crazy. All right. First up in the flicks, we got to get into, and just like I talked about this week on State of the Atmosphere, I said, don't be surprised if How to Train Your Dragon beats 28 years later in week 1, and it sure enough did. It beat it by 7 million. How to Train Your Dragon's a big hit. It's made 160 million in 2 weeks, 37 million, and this is domestic numbers now, guys. It's number 1 at the box office again. 28 years later, its premiere made 30 million. Elio made 21 million. It's a kid's flick from Pixar, which is another Disney-owned thing. Lilo and Stitch has dropped underneath the double-digit mark to 9.7 million, but man, wow, has it got one hell of a run going. And Mission Impossible came in at number 5 this time with 6.5 million. I actually went
going to see it, man.
I went to see it on Father's Day, and that theater was packed on Father's Day, man. To go see that one at 7:30 in the evening. So yeah, and of course, you guys can't trust my opinion of Mission Impossible because I love the series, and it is a perfect movie for a fan of that series because it ties every movie into it. It's really great, man. I love it.
It's what movies should be. Entertaining, man. Just go and forget about real life and be entertained, man. And Tom Cruise consistently does that with his movies.
Movie stars should take lessons on him on how to carry yourself and make money. You know what I mean? And he did. Did you go see this one in the theater yet, Dan? Did you go see it yet?
Absolutely.
We were there, so you know what I'm about to say.
When we got back from Jamaica, we went and saw it.
Right. He did this one just like he did a Top Gun. the first thing you see on the screen is him sitting in the theater saying, "Thanks for coming to see this in the theater where it was meant to be shown." It's very cool. You can say whatever you want about his crazy Scientologist ass, whatever. Definitely separate the artist from the art, because the art is awesome. He does a great job making movies. He really does.
No doubt. No doubt.
Love him. Let's see. Killy Chow says, you can't blame Bobby Cox for that. Fuck Jim Lawrence. And he says, I agree. Yeah, I got you. Okay, next up. And this one I'm glad to see. More doctors need to be thrown under the bus for this. Doctor who supplied ketamine to Matthew Perry and called him a moron will plead guilty in his wrongful death suit. So, yeah.
I wonder what he stands to lose. I would imagine his license, and then got to be going to jail for something.
Yeah.
For some amount of time, right?
Yes. It's well, I mean, we're seeing too many of these guys getting high on stuff that they need doctors for. And once again, we've talked about how they live in a different world, and people don't want to tell them no. They want a piece of the pie. And I'm sorry, if you're a doctor, you got a fucking oath. You're not supposed to be fucking feeding an addict drugs.
You have the hypocritical oath that you have to.
The hypocritical oath. You have to fucking live up to it, man. So yeah, kudos there. I hated to see him go. He was a really good actor. Really was. R. Kelly hospitalized for overdose, claims he is target of murder plot in prison. Lawyers said.
The murder plot.
Yes. Apparently, R. Kelly is finding out that they don't like pedophiles in prison. They don't like them very much.
That seems to be a running theme.
It is a running.
No matter what generation, people don't like pedophiles because a lot of those prisoners in there were abused as kids. So yeah, they don't like that too much.
Absolutely. Keely Chow says, speaking of packing movie theaters, if Warner Brothers did a Ready to Rumble sequel and made it AEW movie, the sickos will pack the movie theaters to watch it. Yes, they will. Absolutely. They sure will. Next up, stunned to see this one. This is a young lady here. Anne Burrell, popular Food Network chef, dead at 55 years old. They found her in her Bronx apartment, unresponsive, and she passed away. I'm not surprised when these
did they say cause of death on that?
Oh
deal?
yeah, it was a heart attack.
Shit.
But there are some. They're waiting for the autopsy, but they think it may be a drug overdose. They're not sure, and I hope that's not the case. That's just a rumor right now. We won't know anything until the autopsy comes back. But I did see an article saying that there was a rumor that it could be an overdose. But I'm surprised some of these guys don't expire sooner than they do, because if you watch some of the stuff they eat, oh my God, that Guy Fieri that does the diners, drive-ins, and dives show. Some of the stuff he eats, I don't know how he's not a walking heart attack, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, sorry to see this girl go. She's one of my wife's favorites. That trademark crazy hairdo was her calling card. She
looks like the heat miser.
Right? Exactly, Dan. That's how she wore her hair all the damn time, dude. She really did. Let's see. Keely Chow says there are a lot of black dudes in prison who don't want R. Kelly anywhere near their daughters. Of course not. Yeah. Jeez. I guess not. All right, boss, relax. I know that the flicks didn't have much in it, but what can I say? Hollywood is getting slow.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo.
He said it's time for the Diddy Files.
Diddy Files.
He said it's time for the Diddy Files. We got to get into what's going on with Diddy. Because, there ain't no party like a Diddy party. Of course. You know that. First up.
I love it. Love it.
First up, Diddy takes turn. Diddy trial takes turn after judge makes juror decision. What they did was they went ahead and kicked out a juror. Juror number 6 has been dismissed in the case. just days after Diddy's team explored the potential for a mistrial. The judge cited transcripts from the selection process, which show inconsistencies in the jurors' description of where they live and
lies and deceit.
The juror initially said that he lived with his partner and child in the Bronx, but then explained that he moved in with a woman and her child in New Jersey, but stays at his aunt's home in the Bronx during the week. The judge said that that really made them concerned about them lying, changing their story. So they dismissed the
Yeah,
jury.
I mean that's a problem right there, you know.
So of course Diddy fires back with the racial stuff, right?
Sure.
He
Sure.
says if you dismiss that black juror, I want a mistrial. Also this week, jurors in Sean Diddy Combs trial. Excuse me. Sorry about all this pop-up stuff.
Read an article.
Gasp as they're go ahead, Dan.
Read an article. Get a subscription. Read an article.
Right.
Get a subscription.
Get a sandwich.
Read
an article. Buy a car.
Buy a car.
Jurors in the Sean Diddy Combs trial gasp as they're made to watch explicit home videos of
what the fuck?
moguls' freak off sessions. They're actually watching the videos this week. Oh boy! And don't miss out.
Don't miss out. Don't miss out on the
Danny,
sun.
you got to tell him what you said pregame.
What did I say? I don't even know.
Don't you want to be a juror on one of these trials?
Oh, it's just so funky, dude. Yeah, what do you got to go? I'm going to watch videos of Diddy parties and nastiness goes. That's what my day is going to be like. Yeah, that'd be great.
And a big blow for him this week. Guess what? Sean Diddy Combs trial live.
My dude.
Disgraced rapper's drug mule set to spill secrets about freak off parties.
This guy was an ex-Syracuse Redmond basketball player, man. Syracuse Orangeman basketball player. And yeah, he's the Diddy's mule who run drugs for him, and you should have seen him walking. That picture is not what he looked like when he went into court. He was in a really high-dollar suit, hair slicked back. He looked like he was coming off Wall Street set or something like that. But yeah, he got immunity.
Yeah. So he can say whatever he wants.
His guts, dude. Yeah.
Dude.
This is not good.
Now,
the Diddy machine. It's not good.
This guy is a cog in the Diddy machine. And he's been given immunity. Which, of course, you know what the defense is going to do. They're going to rip his credibility apart because he got that immunity. Killy Chow says, bring on the baby oil. You know?
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, this clown right here, man. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, I'm sure Diddy's got a ton of these guys working for him, dude. You know, drug mule.
That's not looking good for the Didmeister, dude.
It's not looking good for the Didmeister at all. But we knew once they cracked the seal on this case, we would go hear some crazy shit for sure.
You know, that video is probably just fucking whack, dude. Oh, the baby oil is just flying in that thing. Ugh.
I didn't know the human body could do that.
That is an ad for Johnson & Johnson baby oil that they would rather not have out there in circulation.
This Diddy party brought to you by Johnson &
Johnson.
That's too much, man.
It's tough to get into those hard to get into places. Use Johnson & Johnson baby oil. You have problems, we have solutions. Yeah.
Come on, bro. Okay, let me turn the loop off. Damn. Sorry. You're killing me, man. I'm trying to host the show. And now the boss is yelling at me. Now the boss, see what you did?
Yo.
It says time for earthquakes, bro. It says time for earthquakes. Yep.
Lady, gonna have a baby.
The
not
lady
gonna move for 24 hours.
Gonna eat the
Make
lipstick.
It 12.
We need a Dom DeLuise freaking clip, dude. We
That
do.
might be something to consider.
Maybe he needs to be the next
For
producer,
the
bro.
producer, man.
Yes,
Yeah,
Dom
dude.
DeLuise. And we can even, when Dom messes up, we can always have the one at the end of Cannonball Run where Bert smacks the shit out of him, right?
You know what I'm saying?
Don't hit me. So awesome. All right, let's see what we got under earthquakes. Well, I'll tell you, the first one we got is in Dubai. They had a real life towering inferno. Massive fire engulfed 60.
Pigeon Forge is home to the Great Smoky
All
Mountains.
right. That's what I'm talking about.
Let me go ahead and mute all this sound. Yeah, well, I turned off the autoplay for a long time, and now I turned it back on for certain reasons. First of all, it doesn't lock up my computer's
Not the automatic play.
All right. Massive fire engulfs 67-story building with nearly 4,000 residents. Took 6 hours to contain. It was terrifying. Many of the residents will now be living in temporary housing after the blaze. And nobody was harmed in this thing. They got everybody out. There was about 3,600 people there, and they got everybody out.
67-story apartment building.
Can you imagine? Look at that, dude. That looks like something out of my favorite disaster movie of all time, doesn't it, Dan? That's crazy, isn't it? You imagine that? That is nuts,
That would
dude.
suck to
What
no
the
end.
hell? That is crazy.
Some
Sounds like,
influencer.
damn. What is this? Keely Chow? We were such good friends. Yes, we are. Yes, we are, David. Okay, let's see. Next up. Yeah, that's crazy to me. Next up, yes, the death toll rises.
Not the death toll.
The death toll. And shut up, Gordon. We don't care. Death toll rises from devastating flash flooding in West Virginia as rain threat
Look,
continues.
West Virginia has flash flooding every year, dude.
They're getting
every
hammered. This time it's up to 6 people. And if Mr. Gordon's ever done talking, you'll see some visuals of it. But yeah, say your prayers for those people up there in West Virginia. Like I said, 6 lives this flash flooding is claimed up there. Fairmont looks like it's the epicenter of most of it. And yeah, that place gets busted up more than anybody with storms. I don't know if it's because of bad construction or what, but the flooding definitely doesn't have anything to do with construction. That's for
I think
sure.
that's part of the Shenandoah Valley, isn't it? With that mountain range there. There's a lot of volatile weather that hits that mountain range.
Yeah.
So.
Did you drive through there a lot?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's probably, I drove through a lot of weather, storms, snow, but the scariest place that I ever went was Shenandoah Valley when the fog set in, because you couldn't see. You're talking about
pea soup. Yeah.
You're
going down into it and you don't know what's down there,
and
right?
up, and I mean, it got pretty scary there. Yeah.
Wow. Next up, man killed at No Kings protest in Salt Lake City was acclaimed Project Runway designer. Now, if you don't know what the No Kings protests were, we were off for Father's Day, and those things happened the day of. It was last Saturday. Last Saturday's when it happened, because they were doing it as it was a counter movement against the parade that Donald Trump put on with the American military.
The May Day parade Donald Trump decided to put on.
Yeah.
Just the way 48
wasn't a good look in my eyes. Now look, this is 2 old military guys talking. We don't take bows, man. We just do our job and go to work. And wait, parades are not our thing. You know what I'm saying?
Never has been.
No.
The thing here.
So, I
parades
thought
after war's been won. You'll have a parade there, but
right.
Doing this freaking communist Soviet Union style bullshit, Chinese parading the damn troops, that's not good.
Yeah,
not
good. But this was a counter thing, and
not to mention the money that was this way.
My stepson actually went to the Shreveport rally. He was here for about a week, and he went to the No Kings thing they had at the Shreveport courthouse. There was about 500 people down there. It was peaceful. Nobody got out of hand, but there was a shooting at the Utah one, and it was one of the peacekeepers that shot him. It's not a good look for the authorities there. Arthur Faloja Alo was a former contestant on the show whose designs are lauded by celebrities from Real Housewives and Mona star blah, 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 blah. But I've seen this guy. My wife watches the show religiously, Project Runway. It's a bunch of designers. And it's a shame. Shame that had to happen. But I had no problem with these guys doing this. It was peaceful across the country, really.
They had it up here in Little Elm. They had a lot of folks were out, and I didn't even know what was happening. I was teaching a family member to drive, and we were going down to just a regular, commonly used road, and I mean they were on both sides of the road. There was a lot of people out there. I'm like, what the hell? They're protesting.
It was the No Kings thing because they said this, like you called it, this Tiananmen Square looking parade. Yeah, made him look like a king. It was to celebrate the Army's 250th anniversary, and it was. I don't think it's an accident. It was on Donald Trump's 79th birthday.
Sure.
So, I completely understood him doing it, and that's what makes this country great, guys. You can go out, you can assemble, you can protest. You just don't have to peacefully do it. Yes, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I hate to hear about that guy from Project Runway, though. And not because it's a guy from Project Runway. Nobody should be shot when they're out there at a peaceful protest. So, looks like some people threw some fists and it got a little out of hand, and somebody got a little trigger happy is what it looks like. So
how fists escalate to gunplay? I don't get that.
Yeah, whatever. I don't get it either. There's a special place in hell for this next guy. Father who killed 3 daughters was active dad, but the system failed him. Ex-wife's attorney says.
Bust a cap in his ass.
Yeah. This is sad. This guy suffered from PTSD, and he implored the judge to give him more time with his kids, and the judge agreed with him, and he got more time with his kids, took them out to the woods, and killed them all.
This guy had known psychological problems.
And the judge, it's a shame. It really is. And he hasn't been found yet, but
probably
the fundraiser for the mother of the 3 killed girls hits $1 million. So looks like the public is completely behind this young lady who lost her children, and
it'll never bring her kids back.
No, it will not.
Will never bring her kids back.
No, it will not. It's a damn shame.
But if I'm her, I'm taking that money. I get legal representation, and I go after this judge.
Yeah. The judge that let him do it. Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's see what else we got here.
What a
Supreme Court upholds state ban on transgender minors using puberty blockers, hormone therapy.
What kind of world are we living in?
Well, he's upholding the ban on it.
Yeah, I understand, but it's just the
fact that you even have to do that, right?
Yeah, it's a headline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and this is a thing. So
yeah, it's crazy. I look, leave the kids out of it, man. Whatever an adult decides they want to do, that's fine and dandy to me. I'm a huge fan of Elliot Page. Used to be Ellen Page. I was a fan of hers, and I don't even know if I'm a fan of him because I haven't seen him in anything yet. But he completely had the right to do what he did, have transgender surgery and all that stuff because he's an adult. He can do that. You know what I'm saying? But leave the kids out of it, man. They're not old enough
allow
to make
them to
those
grow
decisions.
up and make their own decisions.
Yeah.
Gee whiz.
And the parents that let that go on, that's just wow. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Railway Nation says, did you hear the Minnesota news? I'm not sure what you're talking about there. If you're talking about the guy that shot the politicians, Yes, we've already covered it. Okay. Next up in the earthquakes, just in time to get rid of the pop-up. California man escaped from prison 30 years ago, and maybe I'll be able to read it. Okay. From 30 years ago and vanished. Cops just found him living a normal life 150 miles away. And
He didn't
Danny
even try
pointed
to
out,
change his appearance. Didn't even try to change it. Hide in plain sight.
yeah,
Right
I
there.
mean, you can tell this is the same guy, right? His name's Ronald Keith Harvey, and he escaped from the FCI Dublin in 1994 while serving time when running a large-scale illegal marijuana operation.
That's why they weren't. Did he kill anybody? That's why they weren't so hard up to try to get this guy.
Right?
He's
He was
selling fucking
producing
pot.
for him, dude. He's producing.
They're like, "This is my dude. Come
It's
on
Cali,
now."
bro. It's Cali.
Are they throwing him back in jail, man? Come on.
Oh yeah, they're throwing him back in jail. You know
Come
they are.
on.
All right, we got
Pothead.
a public service announcement tonight, boys and girls. You might want to get your Acura checked out. More than
Acura.
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 More than 250,000 Honda Acuras vehicles recalled over brake pedal issues. Yeah, I can see where that'd be a problem.
What did they forget to put one on, or what's the deal? How can you have a brake pedal problem?
Right? You might want to get that engineered out whenever you're producing the vehicle. I'm just thinking maybe, you're going to need brakes at some point.
I mean, it's somewhere down the road, you're going to have to hit the brakes.
Yeah. These people hit the brakes a lot. Flooding and rock slides close heavily damaged I-40 section in Smoky Mountains. Look at that right there.
I was going to say I-40 goes right through Tennessee, the heart of Tennessee.
Yeah. Look at that. This one was provided by the Tennessee Department of Transportation. Shows Interstate 40 remains closed near Tennessee-North Carolina state line due to flooding and rock slides on Wednesday.
Look, they've got a lot of construction going on there anyway. Kim and I drove through there to go see Chelsea, and we went through. There's a lot of construction right along the border there, and now they got these rock slides. Jeez.
Yeah.
What a disaster.
Wade, I know you're in that area. Have you seen anything like this on the news, man? Let me know in the chat. I know Real Wade Nation's up around there.
Real Wade Nation.
Real Wade Nation. Real Wade Nation gaming clips. He's a video.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Good friend of the channel. Let's see. He said no, he hadn't seen anything like that. But then again, he's too busy gaming to watch the news.
He's like, no.
Too far east, he says. Too far east. He's in the western part of the state. Okay. There you go. All right. Check it out right here. Homegrown in Louisiana. Louisiana becomes first state to grant local law enforcement drone interdiction powers. That's nice. I like that. I like that a lot. You should be able to take care of
use those drones, man.
Yeah, for sure. He signed the We Will Act into law this week, granting specifically trained officers the authority to deploy drone mitigation tactics, a power previously reserved for federal
agencies. Wonder what that looks like.
Well, I mean,
drone mitigation tactics. Wonder what that looks like.
Okay, I know they've used them with robots in the past, with like explosives and things that look like they might be mass destruction implements. I know they've used those a lot of bomb units do that, but like this article says, at the federal level, this is the first state that's going to be able to use them. So, very cool. I like what our guy's doing down here. I like him. I like what he's doing a lot. It's first conservative governor we've had down here in a while. Okay, next up, let's see. Now, after what we heard about what happened up there in Minnesota,
don't you know?
There's a local man charged with threatening U.S. Representative Max Miller and his family in Rocky River. That's Rocky River, Ohio. And you got to take these threats pretty seriously now when they start spouting anti-Semitic rant on a local highway, and he pleads not guilty on Friday. You've got to take these guys seriously. When somebody says they're going to do something, believe them. You know what I mean? Let's
well,
get
yeah,
that
you have to default to that,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and then do your investigation. But yeah, I mean, you have to take them as being credible. I mean, you have to at least look at them, right? So.
Yep. Absolutely. I thought this was interesting. Now, if you remember Representative Fetterman from Pennsylvania, when he first came on the scene, a lot of people thought he was a plant. He's got some, I think they're physical mental issues, aren't they, Daniel? It's a physical thing that he's got, right?
Well, I saw a special on him with I think he was on 60 Minutes where he suffers from depression. He's there was a period of time where he was out of the Senate, and he was undergoing treatment, and then he came back, and the guy's from where I see and the stances he takes, he seems like he's very much a centrist.
Yeah, I was
so
going
we
to
need
say that's
more
what
of
this
that,
article's about. Fetterman backs Trump after Iran strikes. The correct move is what he's got to say about it. You can go check out his tweet. He's on Twitter, and he wrote a lengthy response to President Trump's actions. He said, "Look, these guys have been threatened to blow Israel off the map. We got to stop them from doing that. They can't have the bomb." He was totally agreeing with President Trump. So.
We are Israel's #1 ally, and if they're in danger, we've got to come to their aid. I mean, that's just the way it is. So.
Yep, that is a fact. Let's see. Yeah, Danny is going to be affected by this one. Everything we know about Tesla's robo taxi launch in Austin.
That's interesting, right? So
yeah,
you said they're doing that already in California?
Yeah, that's what they've been burning down in the riots out there. They weren't burning down people's vehicles. It's the automatic cars that they're doing it out there.
Well, I tell you, if it comes up, if it migrates, and it will eventually, I'll take one. I don't give a shit. Cool.
The initial rides will be in the Model Y and not futuristic-looking cybercab. CEO Elon Musk has long touted the driverless robotaxi, and the pressure is on the billionaire to deliver on his promises. Well,
sure, and then there's some regulations that a company has to meet to be able to get a permit in the state of Texas for these. They've already got legislation for that, right? So as long as they hit all the safety guidelines and the regulation, they're going to get a permit and they're going to be able to do that. So it's interesting, man. I mean, anybody that's seen the movie Minority Report with all those cars that were self-driving, it's pretty interesting. We're actually seeing that now. So,
Yep. What movie was it with the trucks that those people were trying to get across the road with all the driverless trucks going through at like fucking 80 miles an hour? I can't remember which one that was.
I don't know.
It was pretty cool though. Okay. So guess what, boys and girls? It's time for us to take a look at those that we send to represent us. Those at the state, city, municipal, and the federal levels. We're talking about America's best and brightest. First up tonight, we've got former Senator Bob Mendez reports to prison for 11-year sentence. The one-time powerful chair of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee is now at Federal Correction Institute. What's that say? Schuylkill in Minersville, Pennsylvania.
Schuylkill?
Weird.
I think it's pronounced Schuylkill.
Surely you're not serious. Schuylkill.
I believe it's pronounced Schuylkill.
Schuylkill.
But I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Schuylkill. Sure.
So he's going for 11 years. He'll probably be in there for 3, maybe, max. And then he'll be let out. So there you go.
You know how that goes. And he'd probably be running again, right?
Well, he's got a nest egg. He's a multi-millionaire and
a gojillionaire.
You know what I'm saying? And he'll do some white collar time. He'll get day passes and whatever, dude. So yeah,
9 to 5.
Best and brightest career politician. There you go, right there.
And of course, when we talk best and brightest, we got to talk about Trump cards. Got to talk about the Trump cards. You know what's up with that? We got to do it. First one up tonight. We got, let's see, Trump directs ICE to expand the deportation in Democratic-run cities, undeterred by protests.
Undeterred.
Now there was an incident at Dodger Stadium. I didn't pull up an article on it, but they kept the ICE guys from going into the parking lot there. What it was, they were staging something close to there, and they were using the parking lot, and the security kept them out of there. So that was pretty interesting, I thought. But he's expanding. He wants to get the illegal immigrants gone. And he's got a tier system set up. You know, it's the lawbreakers he wants out of here first. So
yeah,
we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see.
Well, if you're here illegally, you are a lawbreaker. Sorry,
yes.
It just is what it is.
Hate to say it, but you are. Let's see. Das Wolfen says, "Sorry, I had to leave, but I am back in time. I see. Yes, you are. And I finally found your video that I was trying to show earlier, and I figured it out. This is your video from now on, buddy."
Again!
I love it.
Youch.
Oh, my favorite friggin' commercial. Love it, of all time. Next up, we've got Trump extends TikTok ban and enforcement ban deadline another 90 days. This is like the thing they do in Congress when they can't get a budget passed, the continuing resolution. That's what he's doing with this. Every 90 days, he's just saying, put it back another 90 days. What's the deal, bro?
No comment. Blah, blah, blah. It was all talk right before the election. I'm going to do this. Blah, blah, blah. Now, look, you can just start picking off the things that he's backtracking and he's not doing. And so, but hey, he's in the office now. So there you go.
Are you saying that Trump has become a politician after all?
What? Did I say that? Yes, I
No,
did say
you didn't
that.
say that, did you?
Yes, I did.
Trump can retain control of California National Guard for now, appeals court rules. Well, he needs to. You know, you can't. There's, like I said earlier, with the
the governor should have taken care of that, but he's a freaking nutless bastard.
He should have.
Yeah.
He should have. He should have had those guys out there. But he wants those guys raising a bunch of hell. Let's see. Das Wolfen says it is federal. You don't get out early. Oh, I see. Okay. New Jersey is one of the 3 locations to go to bury a dead body, and the other 2 are upstate New York and Long Island.
Yes.
That's great, man.
That's the smell you have on the East Coast.
Right.
All the rotting bodies out there.
They're trying to find an American buyer for TikTok, but it's harder than it looks. Well, yeah, nobody wants to get. I mean, look, man, I would think it would be pretty easy to find a buyer because that platform makes a bunch of money. But you know, I don't think the Chinese want to let it go. It's a great, great platform
because of what you just said.
Yeah.
I mean, why would they want to let it go?
Trump calls for special prosecutor to investigate 2020 election, reviving longstanding grievance.
How much is that going to cost me?
Really, do we really need to get into that?
How much is that going to cost me?
You only get 2 terms, buddy. You might want to concentrate on some bigger fish stuff. You know, I mean, come on.
He's just so all over the map. He does some really good stuff, and then he does some really just freaking stupid. I would like to see just consistency.
Yeah, right.
That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah, I hear you. But that is it for tonight's version of America's Best and Brightest. America's Best and Brightest. Brought to you by our good friends at Monty Python. It's Flying Circus. Not to be confused with their movies, The Flying Circus itself. Circus. Footage, by the way, if you don't know, boys and girls, is from the Upper Class Twit of the Year Awards or games or whatever it was. Yes, extremely fun skit they did at one time. Okay, the boss is yelling at me again, but he's telling me to get my pads on, man.
Oh,
get the helmet out. Buckle up that chin strap.
Make sure you got your insurance policy up to date.
Make sure you got right. Make sure your
Telling
will is up
about to
to
get
date.
dangerous.
You know, it's about to get dangerous because it's time to turn out the lights.
I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there. I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there.
Criminal. What Bobby McRae did to another human being was criminal, bro. It was criminal.
Felony. Straight up.
Felony level hit there.
As a felony. And did he have to extend like he did? I don't think so.
He lifted and separated like a good bra. You know
the
what
whole
I'm saying?
thing. It's the whole thing.
The whole motion was just
Tai Chi kind of.
I'm going
to
break you in half. I hope you don't mind.
And if you do, it doesn't matter.
But you know, the more I watch those clips, dude, the nastier one may be the 1-2 combination put on.
It's brutal. It's brutal. It sounds like gunshots going off.
It does. Because they were completely quiet. That arena was quiet. You heard that all over the place.
I remember watching that, and I was like, ooh.
I love that guy. I thought he was great, but the only thing about him was he didn't respect his opponents. He didn't.
Well,
I
he's
mean,
focused.
he was up and down.
He would fight to the level of opponent he had in front of him, and
Yep.
Rockman got him, knocked his ass out.
Well, that's because the first fight, he come in overweight, didn't take him serious.
And Rockman knocked him out.
When he showed up for that fight, he was ripped, man. He was ready to go.
He was ready to go. He respected his opponent, and he took him out.
He did. Yeah,
was maybe the best 1-2 combination I've ever seen
of all time. I'm telling you, man. Das Wolfen says my life insurance is paid up, so I get Kurt Warner in this section. She will at least get paid. Yeah.
Yes.
Kurt Warner is that what we're going to call it from now on? Kurt Warner.
Mo.
All right. My final word tonight, boys and girls, is this is something that I think was completely stupid when they started doing it. Of course, I'm talking about the monuments that have been torn down that have to do with the Confederate States and the Civil War officers and generals and so forth. My birthplace, actually, I am from Leesville, the town outside of the fort, but the name of the fort now is Fort Johnson. It was changed 2 years ago because apparently Leonidas Polk was a Danny is trying to hold back a laugh here. Leonidas Polk was a Confederate officer, so they changed the name of the fort that my father served on when I was born to Fort Johnson. I am from Fort Dick. What? Fort Schlong, if you will.
Polk, Dick, Polk. It wasn't a long stretch. They didn't go very far to get that Johnson.
Go very far to change that one. Well, guess what, boys and girls? Trump restores historic name of Louisiana Army Fort in bold move. There's several of them that he's changing, but Fort Polk is one of them. It's getting changed back to Fort Polk. There's a list of them. Fort Pickett is getting changed back. Fort Hood. I did not even know they had changed Hood. That is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard.
Huh.
It became Fort Cavazos. I have no clue. Fort Gordon is getting changed back. Fort Lee and Fort A.P. Hill. They're all getting changed back to their original names. So I have to say I'm glad to see this because that's what it's been for. Next month, it'll be my entire 60 years on this planet, except for the two years they decided to change it to Fort Schlong or whatever the hell it was.
Johnson. Big Johnson.
Fort Big Johnson. Got to have a Big Johnson for that fort, right? But anyway, I had to let guys know, yes, Fort Polk is going to be the name again. All right, boys and girls.
Congratulations.
Yeah, right? It is time for the Simple Jack Award. It's that award that my brother gives out once a week to a person,
It's fucking hammered,
an
dude.
organization, could be a government, could be, he might give it to the whole planet one day. You never know. He might. You never know which direction it's going to go. But this time around, I believe he told me it's the lame ass mom edition. Is that what you said?
Lazy ass mom
Lazy
edition.
ass
Yeah.
mom edition.
Yes.
I'm going to read this headline and then he can take it from there. Entitled Mother demands neighbor give her their Wi-Fi password to entertain her bored kids. Neighbor refuses, leading to a dispute. My internet is not community service. Go ahead, Dan.
Oh yeah, this is a sign of the times. But yeah, in essence, the headline says it all. She came over, knocked on her neighbor's door, and said, "Hey, my subscription for my Wi-Fi is expired. Can I get your password for your Wi-Fi so my kids can, stream the games or movies or whatever because they're really bored over there and they need something to do." And just the idea that you would go to your neighbor and ask that, and then get upset when the neighbor said, "Look, I don't feel comfortable about giving you my password." This lady got upset and said, "Look, you already pay for it. Why not give it out?" Da, da, da. Like, what kind of logic is that?
Yeah.
So yeah, she went total retard on a Wi-Fi scale, and that's all I have to say about that.
That's all he has to say about that particular thing. And I can't find the damn video.
Wow. Wow.
Never go full retard. Never go full retard. Never go full retard.
There it is.
Flat tire.
Flat tire. I got the flat tire. But hey,
Flat tire.
that mom
That's
went
Never go
crazy.
full retard.
Lazy ass. Go take your kids out. Do something. Get them outside. Go to the park. You just want them to sit in front of a freaking TV so you don't have to deal with them.
That's a sign of the times, like you said, Dan. Yep. You and I were never home.
No.
We were never home.
Get out.
We were gone.
Go play. Yeah.
Never
Get locked
home.
out of the house. Drink out of the freaking
and you know what?
garden hose.
We didn't need to be home because every time we were home together, we got in trouble. I mean, it was.
Oh yeah. Just fighting like nobody's
We'd be
business,
destroying the house,
destroying the house,
each other.
dude.
It's just, come on, man.
Bad.
We were never home. Never.
But yeah, I've read that article. I'm like, that's just crazy. That's just,
It's just absolutely
the times.
stupid, man. Yep. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Did I find it? Yes, I did. All right, boys and girls, that is it for this week's episode of The Brothers Hack the Matrix. I've got to do a little production stuff here. The volume is way too loud for this. Let's see. I think I put it around here last time. I haven't been using a lot of audio, guys, because StreamYards had a problem there for a while with echo, but it is completely gone now. So I will be sharing some stuff and some audio. So let me know if you can hear this, Dan. You hear it? Good. We're 5x5. All right. First of all, I want you guys to remember that you can support the channel away from YouTube, okay? I want you to go, first of all, to JoesAtmosfere.com. Go check that out. You'll see a little bit of history of me and what my journey through artwork, my help with the Mardi Gras cruise, stuff like that. And you've got my streaming schedule and the beginnings of my merch store. But what's always open here is the pencil sketch portraits. You can always hit that and go directly to my email and get a hold of me if you ever want to get a commission done. Or you can just use the little box on the bottom right-hand side and send me a message. Either way, you can get her done right there at JoesAtmosfere.com if you want to take advantage of my artistic talent in any way. Also, if you want to support the channel, you can go to my Subscribe Star page. You'll see announcements about future shows on my channels. And for $1, the Royal Fox tier gets you all the written word. That's the plots for the comic books, the origin stories I've written for all my characters and stuff. That's all on there. And for the Pirate Patriot tier, you can see all the artwork. And that the entire first issue of the Privateer is on there. where you can watch it for look at it for $5, and many other pieces of artwork I've done. So go check out my Subscribe Star and support the channel there. Also, we want you to, of course, subscribe on the YouTube channel. Want you to go give us a follow on Rumble. Also, check out the Twitch channel. There'll be a replay on Twitch here in a little while of the show. Definitely want to follow us there, and on Kick. You'll see a replay of that there too. Hang on 1 second. One of these things has got some sound. There we go. So give us a follow on all those channels, and you can always follow me on X and on Facebook. So go check those and support the channel that way by following me on all of those social medias and video channels. So the channel schedule for this week, of course, we do Sketching the Privateer every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Central Time. You guys come back next week. We'll have everything you need to know about the clown show that is 2025. Next up, tomorrow morning, it'll be Military Monday, Drink and Draw with me and Gary working on our comic books as we talk about a military movie. And I'm pretty sure we're doing Uncommon Valor starring Gene Hackman, I believe. And if I remember correctly, that's got a few people. Tex Cobb's in that, isn't he, Dan?
Yeah, there's a few good actors in it. It's a good movie.
Patrick Swayze's in that before nobody even knew who he was, right? I think he's one of them too, Dan.
It's a good movie.
But anyway, come check it out as we talk about Uncommon Valor and work on our comic books tomorrow morning on Pop Culture Minefields channel at 10 a.m. Central Time. Then, of course, It's Only Talk and Roll comes your way at 4 p.m. Central Time on That 70s Rock Fans channel. It's a special one. It's the creativity of Brian Wilson, the founder and brains behind the Beach Boys, passed away this week. We'll be doing a tribute to him, or actually he passed away last week. That's why I didn't cover him this week.
Right.
But yeah, definitely come check it out. We're going to do a tribute to him this week on That 70s Rock Fans channel at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then at 6 p.m. Central Time, it's time for Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. And it will be part 12 of my first time playthrough of Mass Effect 2. You guys come check it out as I have some fun with my friends as they give me shit while I fuck up a video game while I'm drinking. 6:30 p.m. Central Time on Monday. And then, of course, Wednesday at 3 o'clock, it's another drink and draw. I'm not sure what the movie is Wednesday, but Gary and I will be working on our comic books again at 3 p.m. Central Time on Wednesday. And that's followed up at 5:30 p.m. Central Time by State of the Atmosphere. And we're going to be talking July movies. July is always the best for the summer blockbusters. I will be heading to Dallas, Texas in a couple of Saturdays to go see Superman with my brother. He's already got the tickets. So we will be doing that. We're going to talk about that movie, Jurassic Park Rebirth, I Know What You Did Last Summer, and of course, Fantastic Four. We'll also be checking in on the show's girlfriend, the Sweeney Spot, Sydney Sweeney. So you guys come check it out Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time when we do everything pop culture, movies, shows, and games. That's on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, Fridays, it's Sketching the Privateer at 1 p.m. Central Time. Come check it out as I do about an hour's work, and we're getting really close to being ready to put out a 0 issue on Amazon Prime of The Privateer. So you guys be looking for that and come see the work I'm doing at 1 p.m. Central Time on Friday. And our good friend Das Wolfen will be live on Friday, as I think he's getting to New Vegas now. I think he's finally gotten there. I'm not sure. I don't get to see this one. I'm at work on Friday, or I'd be there giving him shit just like they gave me shit on Mondays. Anyway, that's at 8 p.m. Central Time. Gaming Night with John on Pop Culture Minefields channel. Come check it out. And don't forget to go give my new channel, Papa Joe Gamer, a subscribe. I'm going to be showing clips and stuff from my video game. And Danny's laughing because he loves that picture of me.
I love that picture, man.
Looking defeated. This picture of me to the right, yeah, I just
what the fuck?
I'm like, come on, man, why are you doing this to me? But anyway, that's everything that's going to go on this week. Let's take a look at the chat real quick before we get out of here, and let me turn that music back on. Sounds wrong without it. let's see what they're saying. Make those kids touch grass. He's talking about the Simple Jack Award winner. That's right. Yes, indeed. Thank you for a great show. Hey, this show wouldn't be anything without you, Keely Chow. Thank you very much for being here, all of you guys.
No doubt.
Keely Chow says, I love the reference to Faith from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel. Yeah, no doubt. I found your Simple Jack for next week, the LA Sheriff's Department. Wow. Really? Send me what you're talking about, man. Danny and I will check it out. Ass Effect. That's right. That's what they call it. Low spec.
Effect.
Yeah, check out. I love how friggin' Low Spec shows it, man. Ass Effect. Yes. Hello, superheroic nurse. Nurse is talking about my thumbnail for Papa Joe Gamer. Yeah. I am getting on the train to New Vegas at the beginning of Friday's show. Very good. And Keely Chow is feeding the ducks. If you don't know what that is, Daniel, I'll explain it to you after the show. Anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for being here. My brother and I really appreciate you guys showing up and getting involved in the show. We wouldn't be anything without you. Go support the channel everywhere I showed you. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.